our first story on top 5 at 7. We have, going to our national news, we have Tinubu signs instrument of clemency and pardons. The president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has executed a relevant instrument of release to complete the process of formally exercising his constitutional power of pre-prerogative of mercy to grant pardon and clemency to specific individuals who were earlier convicted of various events. Following consultations with Council of State and public opinion on the matter, the president directed a further review of the initially approved list for consideration in furtherance of the president's discretionary powers under Section 175, subsection 1 and 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
All right, so we have Senate confirms nomination of service chiefs. The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday officially confirmed the nominees presented by Bola Tinubu for the positions of service chiefs. Those confirmed are Olufemi Oluyede as Chief of Defense Staff, while Idi Shaibu as Chief of Army Staff, Idi Abbas as Chief of Naval Staff, and Kennedy Aneke as Chief of Air Staff. The confirmation followed a 2-hour closed-door session where senators questioned the nominees on their plans to strengthen national security and reform the armed forces.
And also, JAMB officials walk out on Reps Committee. There was mild drama at the National Assembly when representative of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, walked out on the House Committee on Basic Education and Examination Bodies during an investigative hearing. The section, chaired by Honorable Oboku Ofoji, was convened to review JAMB 2023 to 2024 budget performance, remittance, and bank statement. Although the registrar, Professor Isaac Oloyede, was invited to appear in person, he sent a director, Muftar Bello, to represent him.
And now to judicial matters, we have Kanu's lawyer urges Justice Omotosho to dismiss charges. The International Council to the embattled leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, that's Bruce Fein, urged Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, to dismiss the terrorism charges against Kanu for lack of jurisdiction. The lawyer reminded the judge that failure to dismiss the charges will legally implicate him in the crimes allegedly perpetrated by the Nigerian government in bringing Kanu before his court. The council, in an open letter, noted that the judge will be vulnerable to prosecution before the International Criminal Court if he fails to carry out his professional duty to see that justice is done.
And going international news, we have police fire tear gas as protests erupt during Tanzania election. Police in Tanzania's main city, Dar es Salaam, has fired tear gas to disperse opposition supporters protecting against the general election taking place in the East African state. The election is expected to be a shoe-in for President Samia Suluhu and her ruling party, as the main opposition leader is in jail on treason charges, which he denies, and his party has boycotted the vote. Several people has been injured in the confrontation after groups of protesters gathered along major highways to demand electoral reforms and free political activity.
And still relating to election, we have tight race in Dutch election as anti-Islam populist Wilders' hope of power declines. Geert Wilders' anti-Islam Freedom Party is facing a tight race in Wednesday's Dutch election, and even if he wins the vote, his hope of forming a new government appears minimal. Wilders was the clear winner last time Dutch voters went to the polls in November 2023, but final opinion polls ahead of voting suggest a fall in his support. Dutch voters are grappling with a series of crises, from a chronic housing shortage to overcrowded asylum centers. And that is all we have for you today on the Top 5 at 7.